Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Got a great show in store for you. I recommend that you stay tuned, but if you have to leave or gotta do something, remember the show is on at 2 and 8 every day here at Access Chautauqua, 1301. And if you can't catch us then, you know we're on YouTube as well, and always just put in the date or the topic, and you can find us forever and ever and ever. We're out there. Well, I hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday and a nice weekend. It's finally drying up to some degree. Also want to say good afternoon to all our listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to have a show that we're going to be describing things today. So you're going to have to listen real careful because we're going to be showing a lot of pictures, but we're going to be very artistic in how we describe things. And so we're glad you could join us. All right, well, lots of things going on in the county as always, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But I do want to let you know that the Three Amigos, we're going to get right to it. We have our T-shirts, and first let's bring on the Three Amigos here. There we are. We're going to be riding again for the Ride for Roswell this year. We're going to do the 34-mile country ride. There's Randy and Jeff and myself, and I'm happy to say that I'm almost up to my goal. So if you are inclined to donate, please go to the Ride for Roswell website, and it'll say search for rider or look up rider. Just put in one of our names and it'll pop up. And if you want to donate, they're happy to use your credit cards. And we're full steam ahead. So we're looking forward to that. And are you guys ready? A little drum roll. We have our team T-shirts. So let's take a shot of that. There they are, the Chautauqua Sunrisers. And we're going to be wearing those when we ride on June 22nd. And if any of you are so inclined and you want to ride with us, I've got a bunch of T-shirts, and I'm sure one will fit you. And if you want to get back to me now, we also have to model the front of the shirt. Here it says Chautauqua Sunrisers right on there. So we're going to be styling, right, Jeff? Randy? So, yep, there it is. So we just got these in, so really excited. So I hope you can support us or join us, whatever. It's a great cause, and we are all in on that because all of us have had family members or friends that have been affected by cancer. Okay, let's see. I want to remind you this is a call-in show, and if you have a question, a comment, an announcement for your club or organization, give us a call at 753-5225. Happy to hear from you. If you're shy and you don't want to talk live, that's okay. Just give the information to the folks on the other end of the phone, and they'll get that information over to me. Remember, you can Twitter us, you can go to Facebook and all that good social media. We're on there, so please do check it out. One thing I want to share with you is, from time to time, someone will say, you know, you had so-and-so on the show, and what was that thing they were talking about? Or, for instance, last couple of weeks I've had veteran services on the show and the Blue Star Mothers. And I'll run into somebody and say, you know, I know somebody that needs some services. You know what I do now? I go back to YouTube, I copy the link, and I send my show to these people, just like you would an article or you know, a citing in an encyclopedia or Wikipedia or whatever. So use the show. It's lots of information, and it's out there forever and ever. And I'm happy to share that with all of you. Okay, let's get to some announcements, because I do want to make sure we have enough time for our guest today, because we do have a bunch of stuff going on, and you all are doing a great job sending it to me, all your information. So just keep them coming. Let's go to Jamestown right off the bat. Let's see here, I don't have a slide on this, but this is the Jamestown Morning Rotary Club. They're having a Rotarian golf outing. So this is in competition. This is just a fun thing to do. And it's going to be over at Willow Run. It's a 9-hole course. Only $22 a person. It starts at 8:30 in the morning on June 1. It's a scramble/shotgun start. All Rotarians and guests are invited. And if you're interested, give Scott Sawyer a call at 720-0094 for questions or anything you want to know. And all of the proceeds are going to support the Jamestown YWCA. Staying in Jamestown, let's talk about our friends at Infinity. They got a bunch of stuff going on. They have a new student orientation session. If you're interested in music, art, dance, theater, or literature, then the Infinity Center is the place for you. Join them at the next student orientation session on Thursday, May 23rd, coming up, and see all that Infinity has to offer. Take a guided tour, meet the Infinity staff, and sign up for lessons. If you're interested, give them a call, 664-0991. You know I'm high on Infinity. You know that I support these folks 100%. And if you have a youngster that's interested in anything of the arts, anything in that area, this is a place to really fire up their interest and their juices. We have them come on the show here from time to time, and I'm telling you, they just do a fabulous job. All right. Also, Infinity Arts Cafe is going to be held on May 31st. It's for live performances at the center, and they're going to be featuring talented dance and theater students. Under the direction of their dance instructors, Mariah Melendi, Kate Rinko, and Jessica, Hochstein, and theater instructors Adam Owens. Adam's been on the show, so is Katie, and Jamie Lee Bonfiglio Davis. You're going to have an entertaining evening for sure. Again, May 31st at 7 p.m. at the Arts Cafe. Then they have their special annual spring showcase, and that's being sponsored by the Schultz Auto Group. That's going to be held at the Jamestown High School Auditorium on Saturday, June 8th. And I know this is going to be a very special evening. The performance will feature an array of dynamic performances by students who study at Infinity Visual and Performing Arts Center. Now, when you see these folks, you think, my gosh, they're just young kids, they're in school yet, and they're performing at a very high level. So this is really a fun evening. Pre-sale tickets are only $7. The day event, they're $10. Any child under 18, free of charge. Great family evening out. Then, coming up real quick, I'm just going to announce, excuse me, still fighting this cold thing, the 16th Annual Local Music Showcase. This is just a call out to all my fellow musicians. September 7th is the date, and they're looking for musicians to volunteer, donate their time. And as I've mentioned in the past, this is an evening where you can go all over Jamestown at about 10 or 12 different venues, and there's live music. You pay one money, get a wristband, and you can, you name it, that style of music is being played that night. And I think this will be my 8th or 9th time. So Will and I are looking forward to that. Again, if you're interested, September 7th, give them a call over at Infinity. Okay, let's go to some slides here. Number 15. I have to say this word slowly because I can get all tongue-tied. Volunteer ombudsman is needed. Okay, advocate and promote the rights of residents in nursing homes and long-term care facilities. Ombudsmen visit facilities in their communities to empower and help residents resolve complaints. Now interviewing for upcoming trainings, an ombudsman is needed in Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. For more information, give them a call at the Office for the Aging at 817-9222. Okay? All right, let's see. Let's go over to Westfield. There's going to be a charming weekend in wine country and lunch at the Grape Discovery Center. It's going to be held May 17th, 18th, and 19th. Tickets are now on sale, and you need to get them before they sell out. All right, and let's see here. It says, please note you may purchase tickets with a charming luncheon options served on Saturday at the Grape Discovery Center, ideally located amongst several wineries in Westfield, New York. The Grape Discovery Center's charming luncheon will be available Saturday, May 18th, between noon and 3 p.m., provided by 3C's Catering. This festive luncheon will have wine tasting and it's sure to please even the most sophisticated tastes. Plus, princess ticket holders get a charm. Don't know exactly what that means, but if you do, you'll know what it's all about. Okay, next, Scenic Railroads of Germany. Okay, the Lakeshore Model Railroad Association is having a special event on May 21st at 6:30 at the Lakeshore Model Railroad Association Clubhouse, located at Eastminster Presbyterian Church on East Lake Road in Erie, Pennsylvania. Bring a friend or be a guest. Okay, so our friend Rusty Bova, he's involved with a lot of that, and we have local ties to that event. All right, then back to Grape Discovery Center. There's an announcement. They are starting up their Wine With Us Wednesday. Every single Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m., the Grape Discovery Center is featuring various wines and some entertainment. Wine With Us Wednesday. Join us at the Grape Discovery Center's tasting room or patio, depending on the weather, every Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. Enjoy award-winning wines from Lake Erie Wine Country, which features, their featuring wine is $4 a glass. Light snacks are available, and this coming Wednesday, Will, Russell, and I will be performing from 5 to 8, and we played there a number of times last year, so Russell and Hamels will be on stage. All right, let's move on to the next slide. The Office for the Aging plant sale, $3 each or 4 for $10, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the following locations. May 22nd, St. John's Church in Dunkirk. May 23rd at the Hall R. Clothier Building in Mayville. May 24th, Christ First United Methodist Church in Jamestown. To benefit the Office for the Aging and the senior programs, pot and soil donated by Burdo's Greenhouse and Garden Center. Now, Linda may be calling in later, I don't know, but I know that they sell out fast, and for that value, you get a lot for your money. Okay, keep on going. This is back to the Grape Discovery Center. Got a couple more things going on. They got a lot going on down there. If you haven't been to the Grape Discovery Center, it's over on Route 20 in Westfield. Used to be at the old Ford dealership there, Beckman and Everett's, and if you haven't been in there, it's absolutely fabulous. Lots of information, lots of exhibits and educational things, and they have lots of really fun, whimsical things for sale as well. So, May 25th coming up, Bonsai for Beginners. This class will instruct the beginning bonsai enthusiast in the techniques needed to turn a standard nursery stock plant into their very own bonsai. During our time together, that's them speaking now, we will discuss briefly the history of bonsai, the most common styles of bonsai, the specialized tools needed, and general bonsai care. We will then proceed to create our own bonsai. I like saying that word. Using pre-selected nursery stock, we will find the front in line of our trees. Use careful pruning and pinching to remove unwanted branches, leaves, and needles, as well as use basic wiring techniques to help shape our trees. $50 a person. If you're interested, 326-2003. The instructor is Trenton Lutz, and you get a tree, you get a pot and tray, soil and water, and a book, Essential Bonsai Tips. Okay, sounds like a lot of fun. Now here's one I announced last week, I've never announced this before. This is kind of interesting. Excuse me. Scavenger Hunt and Birthday Bash. This is going to be at the Grape Discovery Center. And if any of you know Julie Travis, she owns Jack's Barcelona Drive-In down there in Barcelona. Evidently, she's decided to have a birthday bash, and then you're all invited. It's going to be held May 25th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There'll be a family-friendly scavenger hunt from 4:30 to 5:30. Registration starts at 4 at the Grape Discovery Center, or you can sign up at their Facebook page. $20 per team. Enjoy appetizers by Parkview Cafe, award-winning wines by Lake Erie Wine Country, and cake to celebrate Julie's birthday. Well, Julie, happy birthday coming up quick. If you don't want to participate in the hunt, come down, relax, and visit with Julie. All food and beverages will be provided. What fun, way to celebrate your birthday. I wonder if it's a special birthday. She doesn't look that very old, so I don't know, maybe 40? Okay, there's a laugh in the background. I don't know how old Julie is. You have to go to the scavenger hunt to find out. I don't know. She's going to pay me for that one. Slide, I think I know how old Julie is. I just gave her a compliment. Slide 18, what to do about challenging behavior. Let's see, it's a free workshop, June 1, Boys and Girls Club of Jamestown, sponsored by CASIC, and it's recommended for family and caregivers of children with disabilities. So there's all the information. It's from 9 to 12, and if you have any questions, you can always give CASIC a call. All right, moving along. Shake, rumble, and roll. Back to Jamestown. Actually, Celeron. Shake, rumble, rumble, and roll. June 1, coming up. Starts at the Resource Center, 200 Dunham Avenue in Celeron. Ends at Sunset Bay Beach Club in Silver Creek. Music, prizes, and fun. Check-in begins at 8 a.m. Rumble starts at 10 a.m. Grand finale party starts at 3 p.m. Registration is only $20. Prizes, $500 for best 5-card hand, $300 for best 3-card hand. All motorcycles, cyclists are welcome. If you want more information, give them a call, 661-1477. Of course, this is being sponsored by the Resource Center, and it goes to all their great programs over there. Okay, another Grape Discovery one, Sip and Paint with Color Me Tipsy Studio. June 5 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Two of our local favorite teams, two of our local favorites team up. There we go. Lake Erie Grape Discovery Center and Color Me Tipsy Studio join forces to bring you this exciting Sip and Paint event. Join us at the beautiful Grape Discovery Center where we will be painting Purple Haze, kind of Jimi Hendrix, led by artist Talina here of Color Me Tipsy Studio. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Ticket prices include everything you need to create this fun 16 by 20 inch canvas painting, as well as a complimentary glass of wine or non-alcoholic beverage and some light snacks. For more information, sounds like a lot of fun, 326-2003. Okay, then let's see, Chamber of Commerce. You're going to have Chamber County Executive Breakfast. Each year, the Chamber of Commerce provides an opportunity of its members to meet directly with the county executive and ask questions. County Executive George Burrell will be our special guest for this event, which will be held 8:30 on Friday, June 7th at Chautauqua Suites, just down the road. If you're interested, 366-6200-484-1101. Okay, without going into a lot of detail on this one, let's go to slide 20. Lincoln Festival, all weekend, June 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. We'll talk more about this next time with more details, but mark your calendar. Big weekend in Westfield. It's a Lincoln Festival. There's going to be reenactment actors of Abraham and his wife. You're going to have the encampment of the military there. There's going to be music. There's a fundraiser. There's all kinds of cool stuff. And, I just read the best beard contest. Well, anyways, sounds like a lot of fun, and we'll give you more details as we come up. And then, let's see. My friends over in Jamestown want you to know Hot Productions, HOT, stands for Terryberry, Owens, and Hughes. They are putting on 3 original 1-act plays on Wednesday evening, May 22nd and 29th, and June 5 and 12. and it's called Dinner at Chautauqua. The show will be presented on the stage of the Labyrinth Press at 12 East 4th Street. If you've been there, it's really a lot of fun. I've actually played on that stage. It's small, it's very intimate, and it's very casual. And knowing these three gentlemen, it's going to be a lot of fun. Refreshments are included, $20 for a ticket, and you can give them a call at 708-2471. Okay, just some mark your calendar things. There's going to be an annual Cherry Golf Classic by the United Way of Northern Chautauqua County, and that's going to be at Tri-County Country Club in Forestville, June 14th. Talk more about that when we get sooner. Okay, we have slide 22, Chips, Putts, and Pints. This is a new one. Westfield Mayville Rotary Club presents an evening of skillarity. Chips, Putts, and Pints, lots of competitions. I'll talk to you more about this, but mark your calendar. My brother and I are going to compete against each other, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But again, that will be held on June, where is the date? Help me, guys. Where'd it go? June 14th, maybe? Hang on. There it is, June 14th, 6:30 to 9 p.m., and that's going to be at the Pinehurst Golf Course. Okay, there's a Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame is having a golf tournament, and that's going to be held on June 15th. So mark your calendars for that, and we'll talk more about that. That's it. I'm tired. My mouth is wearing down. We're going to have a public service announcement, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
4-H, what a great organization. Always enjoy seeing their displays at the county fair every year, and I do know that they're very involved with just all sorts of great life skills and skill building opportunities for young folks. Okay, today returning to our studio is Marcia Merrins, artist and all-around volunteer of all places and things. And with her for the first time is Stephanie Burdo, who is the coordinator of this year's Art Trail. And we're going to be talking a lot about that here in a minute. So welcome back to you, and welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
And I'm still talking after all those announcements. Wow, and I even cut some of them, but some of them are still coming up yet, so we'll get to those later. We had a show last year about the Art Trail and learned a lot about the wealth and depth of talent in Chautauqua County. Is that a fair statement, Marcia?
I think it's a fair statement, and North Shore Arts Alliance, of course, is sponsoring this year's Art Trail, as in the past. It's the 11th year.
Yeah.
We have 21 artists, and of course, the main purpose is to display the talent of visual artists in Chautauqua County and invite people to join us as we host, and artist hosts visitors at their studios, as well as at local galleries that are a part of the Art Trail. And Stephanie Burdo, my colleague and friend, is the Art Trail coordinator for this year, and it's her first time out. So
we'll be gentle on her.
We'll be gentle on her. We will. And she's done a great job. We're using a lot of promotional vehicles for the Art Trail, and a lot of social media, and we've been doing very well. You might want to tell us about that.
Where do I start? Well, first I want to go back a little bit, because this is not my first time with the Art Trail. I have been a, what do I call it, a tour goer, a visitor on the Art Trail for many years, and it's always exciting to go see. You know, you have artists that you see, that you know, and then there's the artists that you haven't discovered yet, and then you get to go and see the depth of talent. So yes, we've had we've done some things on social media, on Facebook, to Meet the Artist campaign. not a campaign, just kind of like an
campaign.
editorial thing. People have been very receptive to that. They like to get to know who's on the trail and what they do and a little bit about their background.
So where'd the concept of the art trail come from?
I think it was originally to enable a visitor to learn more about the artist and what inspires them and their techniques. Some of the studios, like if you're a part of a gallery, you can just show your work. But if you come to a working studio, like in my studio, you actually see various pieces in different stages of development before the final piece, and I may actually be working with clay or glaze or something like that. So I think part of it is for a visitor to see where the work is created, and also to talk with the artists about what inspires them and their technique. If they can't actually see it, then talk to the artist, which you very rarely get a chance to do. And it also gives people an opportunity to wander through the county and see the beautiful countryside. And each space, each stop that you make is really unique.
Okay. Stephanie, can you kind of describe where someone might start on the trail and where it goes, just in general?
That's a really good point. Because when you start on the trail, you want to pick up one of these brochures.
Okay, how do you do that?
They are available at various places throughout the county. The main gate at the Visitors Bureau, at Chautauqua at the Visitors Bureau. They're in brochure racks around at various attractions. And each of the artists will have them at their stops. So it depends where you go first, depends on a lot of different things. Where you're coming from, where you want to go.
What you want to see, probably, too.
And what you want to see. So if you're coming from, say, Jamestown, you might want to start in Lakewood at Leslie Calamari's, the Chautauqua Art Gallery on Lakewood, on Chautauqua Avenue in Lakewood. She's #1 on the map. And go kind of follow 394 up to Westfield and go up to Fredonia. If you're in the Fredonia area, you might want to go backwards. There are several different places in Fredonia that you could start. The farthest one out is Dale Anderson, and he's where is it? It's South Dayton. Well, it says Forestville. You could go to Marcia's first. She will have 3 artists at her stop. You could go to Thomas and Nears. There's 2 at his stop. I'm not going to send people to the kiln site first. We'll talk about that, but I think that those 2 places would be a good place to start. And if you're in Westfield, you could go to the Portage Hill Gallery, Denise's gallery. What's Denise? The Living Glass Gallery in the middle of Westfield, and pick up a brochure, because that's going to give you the map and the information.
So start at least one place and then go from there. Really.
Which you can also get on the website, the NorthshoreArtsAlliance.com. There's a tab that says Art Trail. There's a map there. There's a list of the artists there as well.
Now, if you're like me, you're going to go to 2 or 3, and that's going to kill the day. So this is more than one day event, right?
It's a 2-day event,
all right.
And what. I'm going to speak from experience. I would, when I would do the trail, I would pick a couple of the artists that I knew that I wanted to go see again, and then a couple of artists that I didn't know. And 2 go to more than 2 on a day. Go to 3 or 4 or 5 on a day, and then you'll get half of them over 2 days. Or you could spend the day, go have lunch in Westfield in the middle of the trail, go to a winery.
You can mix it all together.
Mix it all together, and then can continue on up. Yeah.
Well, just to add on to that thought is that the purpose of the art trail does not just benefit the artists; it benefits the communities in which they live. In that, you can visit the winery, see what else is going on in town, and do the art trail as a continuation of a wonderful day in Chautauqua County.
Right.
Well, see, and this show is all about is exploring and uncovering the cool things to do in Chautauqua County, right? And so that's what I love about this particular event is that it does just that. It cuts through everything that's going on. It's just wonderful about Chautauqua County. So if you were going to be on the trail following the map, can people purchase art as they're going along?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, part of it is an opportunity for artists, of course, to talk about what they do, but also an opportunity to sell their works.
You know, when you were talking about looking at one particular person's studio, for instance, you get to see the work in various stages. So let's digress a little bit about in the life of an artist. You know, a lot of times we see a finished product on a shelf at some gallery or boutique or something like that. There's a lot of work and money invested in all this, isn't there?
It's crazy. I have a terrible time in pricing my art because there's so much involved in it, as you say. If I probably were paying for the hours I put into it, it would probably be $2 an hour because of all the other time that and materials that are used. So I think it's very hard for some artists to price their work because there is other things that you don't see that go into it. Plus the failures, especially in pottery, there are things that crack in the kiln or the glaze runs, and so it's a throwaway. You know, so there's that kind of. So when you see the finished product, you go, that isn't so hard to make. I can make that at home with my bake clay.
No way.
Right.
No way.
So.
And the techniques that you use that we've talked about in the past when you were on other shows, it's just absolutely fascinating, and the steps that you have to go through and stuff like that. So, Stephanie, were you going to say something on that, or as far as what the artists do and so forth?
I think I'm all about storytelling, and each of these pieces has a story to tell, and the artists have stories to tell about what inspired them, where it came from, where they're going with it. You know, you see a sunrise. We were talking about a sunrise earlier. You see a sunrise or a sunset or a picture of a landscape, and it's not just that what you see, it's the story behind what happens to that landscape, why the artist chose that landscape, or the animals that they create, and it's very personal, and that's that's the nice thing about the trail, is that you get to learn more about that instead of just walking into a gallery or seeing a photo of something online where it's very flat then, and it adds depth to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to say it's going to be this coming weekend.
Right.
Memorial Day weekend.
It's always Memorial Day weekend.
Not this coming weekend as in today.
Not today. No.
Yes.
So May 25 and 26.
Yes.
Correct.
Is there a time that starts and ends? How's that work?
10 to 5, both
10
days.
to 5. Okay.
It starts at 10 to 5, but for the artists, of course, it starts earlier because
would
they
think
have
so.
to put those signs up, which for many people are directional. Like to find my studio, since it's in a residential area, you have to go on the map, which will help you, put it in Google, which will help you. But in addition to that, you will see these red signs with arrows.
Okay, let's hit that one, Justin.
Yeah.
Can we get a shot of that?
The ones that you will find will have, the ones that you will find on the street look like that, but they have a white arrow.
Okay, there we go. Even better.
They will have a white arrow below them, which will direct to turn, right on Seymour, left on Roslyn, and
Just follow through.
I need 7 to get people to
my
my
gosh.
house,
Wow.
by the time. But if you're on a main drag, probably 1 will do. So those are important to look for
Oh, there we go.
over the weekend.
Okay,
And the
sure.
artists will be out early in the morning putting them in designated spots, because you can't put them out too early because they'll be taken.
Or the wind. We live such a windy area. I mean, look at the election season. You
Yeah.
see signs are airborne all the time. So yeah. I see these signs all the time when I'm driving around the county. So
They will
especially
direct you.
Portage Hill there, Audrey
Yep.
I know she's always got her signs up there.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm still a little unsure of the answer to this question, Stephanie. How did you get involved other than being a volunteer? Are you an artist? Is that stand-up comedy here?
There's this, my neighbor is an artist on the trail, and we were talking one day, and I ended up here.
Okay, so it was one of those things you just kind of got absorbed into the thing.
My background, I did spend many years at the Chautauqua County Visitors Bureau, so I was very familiar with the
perfect.
trail and with promoting it, and so I think that kind of led to the conversation, but yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's see, where do we go here? Well, we have a lot of pictures, so how about we start with some pictures and we'll describe what we're going to be looking at. And again, for our listeners on the radio, we're going to do our very utmost to give you a visual sound. How's that?
The other thing I wanted to say is there are several artists who have been on the trail before, but most of them have new works and are eager to talk about it. So just because you've been to Reno Pottery doesn't mean that Jim and Pat Reno don't have new
something to check out.
Characters and visuals for you to check out. And then we have new artists on the trail, which I think are very exciting. And there's one site we're going to talk about, which is, I think, a high point in the tour.
All right, so we can bounce some pictures around here, talk a little bit, and we can go back and forth. So let's just start with, all right, so here we go. Okay.
I will talk about this because I know it very well. Actually, that's Marv Buerlin. And in the brochure, it is Buerlin Ceramic Studios. And Marv Buerlin was a professor of ceramics at SUNY Fredonia. And now he has built a kiln site up in Sheridan called the Scott Creek Place kiln site. And he is actually sitting into what is called the soda-fired kiln. That's where that kiln is filled with shelves and pottery, and he's actually emptying it, and that's why he's wearing gloves, because the pieces in there are still hot.
They are.
So he's wearing gloves, and it's kind of short, so he's sitting in there and actually unloading the kiln, and every piece that's taken out is looked at to find out how the firing went and what we can do better. So it's kind of a real great picture. If your listeners want to see that, they can go to our website and take a look at it. But there'll be more pictures of that firing.
Question just came through my earpiece is, how long does it take for a piece? I know different styles do different things, but in this particular picture,
the wood firing takes place actually in one day. The soda firing in the small kiln takes one day. But for each piece that goes in there, you have to wad a little piece of material so it doesn't stick to the shelf. There is no glaze on those items, and as the fire is burning toward the end of the cycle, when the temperature is about 2200 degrees, they spray in sodium carbonate, and that interacts with the ash to deliver glaze. If you look at, when we get to a photo of this little hippopotamus, you will see that it looks like there's glaze on it, but it's actually the soda that is fired with the wood. There it is. So it looks like he's glazed, but actually he went in as bare clay. And then the soda just deposits a glaze on the surface of it.
Just as a reference for our viewers and listeners, if Marvin was on the show, I don't know, October. Thank you. I don't remember. They all kind of run together.
I know.
But you can go back to YouTube and look it up and learn all about that style, because it was absolutely fascinating.
Yep.
Okay, let's keep the pictures rolling here.
That is, well, you know who that is.
Well, this is from Reno Pottery, which is up in DeWittville.
Okay, so we have a circuit. You ever watch those shows where they describe like the mysteries at the museum? I'm looking at a very round-looking disc that looks like maybe a plate, and it has two faces on it.
Jim Reno does a lot of drawing, and he's kind of Picasso-esque in
Okay.
his kind of exaggerated features. So it's very colorful. He also, and they're kind of like cartoonish caricatures, and he does dragonflies and lobsters and birds and anything else. He just kind of takes what's called a glazed pencil and kind of just sketches, and it's just charming, really charming. It's porcelain, and this is a bowl, and he does all kinds of functional pottery, so it's beautiful.
Stephanie, when we say functional pottery, this bowl could be used to put fruit in there and things of this nature? I mean, that's what we mean by functional?
Yes.
Okay. Were you going to add anything to Jim's work there?
Oh, good. Marcia's good.
She's got it covered.
I'm good.
Okay. So very, very colorful, very unique, and one of one, right?
Yep, each
Okay.
one.
So to add to the functional, can you put this in the dishwasher?
Every pottery is, it can go in the dishwasher. It can go in the oven if you're careful and make sure it's not too cold before it goes in the hot oven. What you can't do with some pottery, which is called raku, is eat from it. So if there's a bowl that's raku fired, you cannot eat from it.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. But why can't you eat from it? Because of the glazing that's on it?
Well, because of the materials that are in the clay and for raku.
Okay. But function, I think
Stop
by
eating your Rice Krispies out
Yes.
of that bowl.
But wood
But from-
fired you can. Wood
yeah,
fired
and,
you can.
and functional, I think
It means
you know,
it
you can
has a
eat from
use.
it. You can put food on it.
So that's a question that people should ask the artist then as they're going
Yes.
along, right?
Most artists will tell you
Okay.
that it's not, you shouldn't eat from it.
Okay.
I mean,
Great.
but most pottery is dishwasher and oven safe.
Terrific. Okay, let's
If you wanted to put the hippo in the oven, you could. That is an amazing picture.
Okay.
For your listeners, it is the picture of the inside of the anagama, which is a huge kiln, and you can see the objects that are on the kiln shelves and the wood fire burning beneath it. So it's kind of a shadowy, orange, mesmerizing view of the inside of the kiln. They probably opened it to stoke it. You normally can't have the door open when you're firing something like that.
But it looks like a piece of art, doesn't it?
When you said it was a picture, I'm going like, this looks like a painting to me.
It's off a phone.
Wow.
And so that's fire.
I'm assuming that's fire
That's
at the bottom?
ash at the bottom, and you see the flames in the back, and all of the pottery. It has no glaze, of course, because this is a wood firing. It has, some of them can have some kind of glazes on them, I should say, but it's just beautiful. It's actually mesmerizing.
Now, how many other artists, you said there's 21 artists?
Yes.
On the art trail.
How many locally use this process?
Well, there are 3 of us on the art trail that Jim Reno may have some too. So maybe 4 artists on the art trail may have some wood-fired pottery. But the consortium of the Chautauqua area potters has probably 10 to 15
Okay.
people.
So folks, we're getting a little education here and some information. So if someone said this was wood-fired, you know that it was a very special process.
While we're on this subject, so
Yes.
just to finish, on the art trail is the big kiln, not the one that Mark Bjorlin was sitting in, but a huge kiln, of which there's a picture somewhere, will be actually firing.
Is that it?
That's it. That will be firing on Memorial Weekend.
Okay.
So that's the big kiln. And
Now,
the-
where is this located?
This is up in Sheridan,
All
right off of Route 20 on Newell Road.
All right.
And it's a big red barn. That's Ted Lee actually putting some more small pieces of wood. We put big pieces and small pieces in the kiln, and it is a lot of work. It needs a group of people to run this kiln site.
It's huge.
It's huge. That's why the Anagama isn't fired more than 2-3 times a year at the very most. The smaller soda-fired kiln is fired more
Jeff,
often.
can you go back to that first picture of the kiln? I want to try to get some dimensions on this. This thing looks like it's about, I don't
It's
know, 12,
huge.
15 feet long and probably
It's
about...
probably Oh, that's the kiln site.
Okay.
So that is a big barn. It's
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
Barnes greenhouses, and that black smoke is an indicator that it's the firing is toward the end,
Okay.
or we have a pope. I know.
Well, oh, dang, you beat me to it. No, there is no pope with black smoke. That's with white smoke. Okay, so there it is. So hold on that picture.
Yeah.
So this, I'm trying to estimate here. It's got to be, why is it so big? What's in there?
Well, the anagama, a lot of people have big pieces. You know,
Okay.
Mark Brillen does these huge fish
Oh.
heads, for example, large vases. And we're loading that this afternoon, the back of the kiln, we're loading that this afternoon for next weekend.
So a lot of different artists will bring their work at the same time, so
Correct.
it's like a community firing?
Yep. So I don't want to belabor this, but if you want to see something exciting and unique to the art trail for this year, you want to go to that site. Don't go first because you might not ever want to leave it. It's that exciting.
Now, will that be fired both days?
Both days.
Okay.
The anagama, the soda fire said is one day, but the anagama, people have to sleep there and keep feeding fire through the night. So that's why it's a group process.
Wow. Okay, so you got my interest. Anagama, what does that stand for? Is it Japanese? Or?
It probably is a term that I don't know the derivation. I wish Marv were here; he would know it for sure. But it does indicate when you hear the word anagama, you know it's a huge kiln.
My goodness.
If I could pull out my phone now, I would check
I've never.
it for you.
This is all new to me. I've never
Yeah.
seen anything that big. I'm used to those little,
Yeah, that's what most people
dishwasher
fire with electric
size.
kiln. In that kiln site, there's a gas kiln, electric kiln. A gas kiln, which is no, that's wood fire. That's fired by propane. And then there's the anagama, the soda firing kiln, and a pizza oven.
Oh, let's go have pizza.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, the question is how long does it take to fire that thing in the Anagama? Is that an all-day thing as well?
No, it's probably over 2 days, overnight.
Okay. Now, I have a question that came through here. Do they shape or whatever at the kiln at the studios? I'm not sure what that means.
The pottery that goes into
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
the pottery that goes into the anagama is made by the people in their studios. It's bisque fired by the people in their studio, which means that once the piece has air dried, you put it in a kiln and it basically bakes at about 1700 degrees. And then you bring it bisqued.
Okay.
And then it goes in there.
So it's like you have to do a pre-step of firing. And
For
then,
every pottery.
Oh, everyone. Okay.
Every pottery that's created is, if it's made from wet clay, has to air dry, then get bisqued, and then you glaze it or bring it to a wood firing.
Which
whatever.
goes back to
different clays.
It goes
by the
back to
way.
my original comment about the time and effort that takes place just to
Exactly.
make little things. So I'm sure that when you fire up, I like to say this word anagama, that you probably it probably is like it looks like a small room. I mean, there must
Yeah.
be a lot of stuff in
A
there.
lot of wood.
Wow. Okay, let's keep on going with pictures. These are fascinating today. So what else do we have here?
We have all kinds of artists.
right.
We have jewelry artists. We have
Fabric?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have fabric.
Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Whoa, what do we
That's
got?
that's the pottery that just came out of the kiln,
The anagama.
the anagama.
Okay.
That's actually a soda firing.
Okay.
So that's the smaller kiln. All that was in that small kiln that
Oh, goodness. It looks
Marv
like
was
about-
sitting in.
About 40, 50 pieces. So.
Yeah.
Then you said there's shelves in there, so that makes some
Shelves.
sense.
Well,
Okay.
you have to put it each shelf to
Mm-hmm.
adjust to the pottery.
Gotcha. Okay, just
Something
keep,
that's not pottery, guys.
just keep them coming. Okay. Well,
It's more pottery. That's checking the venting
Mm-hmm.
of the air going into the kiln.
okay. So there's a lot of science to all this.
Yep.
All right. Just keep flipping through, Jeff. We'll kind of pace ourselves as we go here. Okay, let's bring those on. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So we're done with the kiln concept now, so we're going to move on to the artist.
That's good.
Okay. So Stephanie, how long have you been with the trail now?
Just for a year. Well, not even a year, since October.
Okay. Oh, I know who this is. So
Audrey K. Dowling is at Portage Hill Gallery.
I know she's been posting a lot on Facebook, and she's had a lot of her work going into a lot of shows lately and juried competitions and things like that. And she's right just down the road here in Mayville.
Exactly.
Okay. She's on the trail. All right.
This is Karen Glosser.
All right. Where's
She's
Claire?
a photographer.
Okay.
She will be at Portage Hill with Audrey.
This is a photograph?
This is a photograph, yes. Karen does a lot of, her photographs are mostly, not all, but mostly of water in various forms. Really beautiful images.
For our listeners, the only thing I can explain it looks like wind at a beach, and there's water and clouds and sand and all kinds of shades of colors. It's very interesting. Okay. Question is, once people take their photographs, do they touch them up, edit them? Do you know?
She probably did. I mean, she probably does some alteration of a.
I think
special
that she
effects.
does some special effects, but I think she also does some of the effects when she's taking the photos
Gotcha.
too,
Okay.
which is all good questions to ask her when you see it. When
We
you're
have
on the trail.
camera buffs here, and so that was a question that came through. Okay, keep 'em coming. Oh, that's a border collie.
That's Catherine Galbraith.
Mm-hmm. And where's she from?
She is in Westfield.
She'll be at the Station Art Gallery.
I'm guessing that was oil painting, maybe,
I'm not
I think
sure.
that probably oil, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's oil.
just from the texture of the paint. Okay.
That is Rhonda Lee. Rhonda Lee is a new artist on the trail, and she does wood turning.
Wood turning. So for those who are listening, that's where
It's a
you take
beautiful-
wood on a lathe and you make bowls or cups or all kinds of different things. This is a beautiful
That's
little turn bowl.
fascinating to work with the natural grains of a wood and get the best possible
I know
cut
I
out
don't
of it.
look like it, but I've actually turned bowls.
There you go. I haven't.
And
but-
that's a science unto itself, because those
Yeah.
things will blow up on you and they'll splinter and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
All right.
That's Ted Lee. Ted Lee does wood firing. These are not wood firing, but he does mixes clays together and then rolls them out and then makes these hand-formed small trays and platters. And there's quite a technique in that because the clay sometimes leaves spaces and so it would crack. So these are beautifully done and it's quite a technique unto itself. And he is new. His wife is Rhonda Lee, and they will be in Fredonia on Chestnut Street in Fredonia called Lee's Wood and Ceramics.
Okay, so what we have are 4 shallow bowls. I guess you-
Shallow, like appetizer bowls, plates rather. They're
Kinda
about
reminds me of
8
what-
by 8.
And they have a kind of a geometric design, like it looks like a little maze inside each one of them.
I
So
think
that's
it's called
really-
Mamisha, but I'm not sure of the technique.
All
but-
these terms, very
Yeah.
cool. All right. All right, who do we have here?
This is Leslie Calamari. She's at the Chautauqua Art Gallery in Lakewood.
And so she would be, it looks like a painter. Is that
Yes, she
paint-
does.
With oils and watercolors.
Watercolors,
and- okay.
yeah.
All right. And now, will they be actually, these artists, if you go visit them, will they actually be working at their artwork, or are they just there to talk about it?
They might be, you're going to be working, right?
I probably will be doing something.
Okay.
But most artists cannot. You know, I mean,
It's hard to focus on everything.
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's hard for artists to do that, but they will be able to talk about their work and
Mm-hmm.
maybe demonstrate a technique. But actually working on something might be difficult. But I usually manage to play with clay.
Okay, great. Okay. And, ooh.
That's Mary Ann Jankowski.
Oh, describe this for our listeners. This is beautiful.
This is, she has, I guess, a series of blue. She calls them blue.
Is there a blue period?
Blue period. And this is a beautiful vase that has a watercolor floral of, looks like lilacs and hyacinths, white background, very colorful, and then the right spot would be absolutely perfect in your home.
It almost is like a throwback to maybe, I'm thinking like 19th century, or I mean, it kind of has kind of a nostalgia to it to me. That's how I see it, but maybe someone else would see it differently.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful. She does other types of watercolors as well, and she's on Beach Place in Fredonia.
That's great.
Terrific.
All right, I know this artist.
This is Nancy Nixon Ensign. She's acrylics?
Acrylic, yeah.
Yeah.
And this looks like, boy, it could be a number of things. It could be, right? It's a house, and there's a field in the foreground, and then it's hard to tell. Is there a lake behind it, or
I
is
think
it
it
does look like
horizon?
It looks like blue sky to me, but actually she has a series called Home Sweet Home, and she does did a lot of landscapes, but in this year, what's new for Nancy is she has added this focal point of a home, not just a house, but a home, and I think it's called Home Sweet Home or something like that. Again, I hope I'm not ruining that, but anyhow, so this is new for Nancy, and she's very excited about it, and she will have prints and note cards as well as the originals for sale, and she will be at my hub, which is 42 Roslyn Court in Fredonia.
You know, it was interesting when I was looking at that picture. My eye, actually, I could feel my eye moving.
Yeah.
It drew me right from left to right to that house, and I did it like 3 times, and it kept just pulling my eye right over there. So it's so fascinating to see what art does for us. Okay, what else we got? Oh,
This is James Hogard. He's a photographer, kind of an Ansel Adams-y look to it.
So this is black and white, but it's not black.
I don't think it's black and white. I think it's actually color. I think it looks black and white because it's a winter scene.
Right. It was Chautauqua County last week, right?
Yeah. So it's a series of trees in a white gray sky and white gray snow, and it's just a line of trees. It's very dramatic, and actually there's a wonderful serenity about it, I think, that my eye enjoys very much. Just the natural beauty of the trees made up the composition, and he just caught it in a photograph.
Now I do see some color in there in the
Yeah.
corner. From this distance to the first monitor, I couldn't
Right.
see. Yep.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
And this is Thomas Annear, who's a plein air painter.
What does that mean?
So plein air is he goes out and does landscapes out in the air, in the open air.
Okay, gotcha.
Some artists take a photo and then paint the photo. Tom goes to the site, and he was probably at that vantage point, wherever that was. He did a whole series out west, and did a lot of paintings from.
So it's like a river or creek within a mountain range or foothills?
I don't know
Okay,
exactly.
we have about a
He
minute.
did a lot in the parks, in the national parks.
We
so
have
he's
about a minute and a
probably-
half left. So
Oh my God, that went fast.
yes, it does. So how about one more picture, and then we're going to wrap up. So what do we have here?
And this is Tom Janik, who will be displaying with Tom Annear in Fredonia.
Okay,
as
that's
well.
either a sunrise or a sunset. I'll say sunset with lots of beautiful clouds.
Yeah.
And I see that from my house quite often. Okay, we have a minute left, so let's wrap things up and give information all about this coming art trail, the 11th annual.
So the 11th annual art trail takes place next weekend, May 25th and 26th from 10 to 5. There are 16 stops along the trail. You can go to northshoreartsalliance.com to find out the artists and a map, or you can pick a location, go to that location, pick up a brochure,
Right.
and it'll have a map on it.
Lots of
and-
good stuff
and
in there.
details
There you go.
about the artists.
And you can also go to Facebook if you want to know more about the artists. Then you can find in the brochure. You can go to Facebook, and they actually have profiled artists over the past 2-3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And be sure to look for our ads in local
Local papers.
newspapers.
And this is free.
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
free, yes.
No
Yes.
charge.
Yes.
It's just,
Yes.
and I think as Stephanie, you put it, this is a great opportunity, folks, to have a beautiful weekend in Chautauqua County, travel the trail and stop at various venues and have a wonderful weekend. So ladies, thanks for joining us. Marcia Merrins, artist.
Thank
Stephanie Burdo, the coordinator for this year's art trail, maybe next year too, who knows? And so thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful week, and make sure you make your plans for next weekend. Sounds great. We'll see you all next Saturday right here, 9 a.m. Access Chautauqua. I'm Doc Hamels, signing off. See you next time.